Welcome back. So next for you, we have a startup story by Kirill Korotaev, co-founder and CEO of Purple Gaze. This session is entitled Making Detection of Brain Disorders Patient-Friendly and Accessible to Everyone. Purple Gaze is an Amsterdam-based startup that leverages eye tracking and AI to identify biomarkers of brain disorders in the patterns of eye movements data. Over to you, Kirill.
Thank you, Joel. Hi, everyone. I'm Kirill, co-founder and CEO of Purple Gaze, an Amsterdam-based startup that is on the mission to make detection of brain disorders patient-friendly and accessible to everyone. Thank you, Inspired AI, for having us for this episode of Inspired AI. And I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Can you see my screen now? Okay, great. So a bit about who we are and what we do. We are a multidisciplinary team of brain scientists, engineers, and business professionals working at the intersection of neuroscience, AI, and clinical research. Our CTO, Dmitry, is a computer scientist and engineer who worked at NVIDIA. My initial background was management and marketing, but then I converged to being a cognitive science researcher at the Vision Modeling Lab in Moscow, where I used neuroimaging techniques such as fMRI and TMS to collect the data from the brain. And then I've built computational models to compare the performance of human participants and artificial deep neural networks on visual tasks. Our company, Purple Gaze, helps to advance neuroscience research and identify brain disorders in an affordable and non-invasive way. We use eye tracking and AI to extract meaningful biomarkers from eye movement patterns of the patient during a simple 5-minute test. Signature eye movement patterns have been already validated as objective biomarkers for autism spectrum disorder and schizophrenia by decades of eye movements research and thousands of peer-reviewed publications. But if eye tracking is such a patient-friendly approach for identifying neuropathology, why it is not yet widespread in the clinical environment? And I'd like to give you 2 seconds to think about an answer yourself. All right, so our answer is that modern solutions are prohibitively expensive and hard to operate. And I'd like to outline that by modern solutions, I don't mean your $100 eye tracking for gaming. What we're talking about are research-grade solutions that have sufficient speed and accuracy to capture the digital biomarker data that is extremely tiny and short-lived. And they are hard to operate because, well, they require multiple computers, and they are not were not designed for doctors. And doctors don't have time for to learn how to operate these complex systems. Unfortunately, we don't have the bandwidth to solve both of these problems at once. But the good news are that we solved the first one already. Introducing Foxy. We've implemented the most recent advances in computer vision, deep learning, and parallel computing to build our eye tracking system that is more portable, faster, and 10 times cheaper than competitor solutions. Foxy generates 200,000 data points in just 5 minutes. That makes it ideal for professional applications, including helping researchers in the fields of psychology and neuroscience to conduct groundbreaking experiments, enabling clinical researchers to collect large-scale, high-quality data sets so they can identify new biomarkers and come up with new treatments and therapies. And finally, assisting clinicians with diagnostics and monitoring of neurological and psychiatric disorders, such as autism spectrum disorder and schizophrenia. And now I would like to offer you an opportunity to put yourselves in the shoes of the participant in one of the eye tracking tests from our gallery of applications. So when you would see the black dot at the center of the screen, please look at this black dot. When you see the green arrow, you should look at this green arrow. But when you see the red cross, you should look at the opposite direction of that red cross. So yeah, this is only for demonstrational purposes, and we won't track your eye movements right now. So please, if you see the green arrow on the left, you should look at the left. If you see the red cross at the left, then you should look to the right. Okay, and then you see the black dot at the center. You look at this black dot in the center. So yeah, let's try. So this test is used to identify mild cognitive impairment, which is the precursor to Alzheimer's disease. And the neuroscience behind the test is that people with early Alzheimer's, they have a lack of inhibition in their brain that doesn't allow them to suppress the initial response to look towards the appearing stimuli as opposed to looking in the opposite direction. But don't worry if this task was hard for you. It doesn't yet mean that you have an increased risk of Alzheimer's, because actually this is hard even for unaffected participants. But patients with mild cognitive impairment commit significantly more mistakes. And I'd like to close by saying that we are seeking collaborations and pilots with research labs and health institutions in Netherlands and in Europe. And also, we are hiring great engineers from anywhere in the world. You can apply at purplegaze.io/careers. Please showcase us your computer vision portfolio or hardware portfolio. Or you can just contact me and write to me directly. I would appreciate any kind of feedback, and yeah, thank you very much for your attention and for having me at Inspired AI.
Thanks, Kirill. Thanks for the great session. And if you have any questions again for Kirill, you know what to do. Please follow him to the networking room. The link to that room is going to be dropped again into the session chat on Hopin. So please follow him there, where Kirill can turn on his camera and audio, and you can type questions in the session chats for him to read and answer. We'll be back after a quick break again. In the meantime, please do try some one-to-one networking via the networking tab. See you in a bit.